96.3 WGOG, that's Restless Heart. Another hour kicking off here. Why does it have to be right or wrong? And it's 9-0 weekend. Walhalla Civic players begin their run of Little Shop of Horrors, the cult classic coming to the stage. The version here being presented by the Walhalla Civic players. Their new website, by the way, is up at WalhallaCivicPlayers.com. And we have in with us this morning Brad Smith, who plays Seymour, and also musical director Larry LaCroix is here with us this morning. Gentlemen, good morning. And Brad, I guess we'll start with you. You kind of have the lead role in this whole thing, and tell us how it came about, your experience on the stage.
My experience, like, from the beginning or from...
yeah, sure. Let's go through a condensed version of your biography.
All right. When I was younger, my mom had a dance studio, so by the time I was 2 or 3 years old, I was on stage, and it progressed. I went to Anderson University and was a theater major. I'm getting ready to go back there in the spring, and then I left there for a little while and started doing community shows again, and then ta-da!
Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
So is this a role that you were familiar with before you auditioned for it here, this Seymour and Little Shop? Or?
Well, I was familiar with the show, not necessarily the characters in the show, and I wasn't auditioning for a specific part. I was just kind of auditioning to hopefully try and get a part, and so I did.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about the part you landed. What is Seymour? Who is Seymour?
Seymour is a botanist, and he's just nerdy, and he's like your ultimate geek guy, and so he knows a lot about plants and not so much about girls. So
now, do you have to change your appearance, because you don't really look like the nerdy geeky type? So you're going to change your appearance a little bit on stage, or?
I'm going to try best I can.
The best you can. All right.
Beautiful solo parts. Brad has several nice solo songs, and
so Brad, are you a singer? Do you sing? I mean, I know you sing in this show, but by trade, do you do a lot of? You don't shy away from musicals, in other words.
I don't, but my best singing performance is probably in the shower. So
probably the case with most of us. But Brad, talk to us a minute, if you will, about some of your co-stars here in this show that you've gotten to work with over the past several weeks.
Lisa Bird is playing the role of Audrey. She is the female role. She's nice, kind, loving, all the best qualities. And Jason Gibson's playing Orrin the dentist, Audrey too. I believe Skip Snip, and I think he's playing another guy too.
Bernstein.
He's Bernstein, yeah. And then we've got Doug Lucas playing Mushnick, and Mushnick is supposed to be the owner of the florist shop, and eventually, well, I can't give that away. That's the secret. You got to come see the show. He's the owner of the shop. What's Tim's last name?
Were you talking about Tim Copeland?
Tim Copeland, yes. He is the body of Audrey too. And when I say that, I don't mean that he's. You just gotta see the show to actually know what I'm talking about. But he's doing the movement for the plant, so he's helping the plant move.
Excuse me, Larry. We've talked about the characters and the music, but we really haven't. For folks who are unfamiliar with this, run down quickly, if you will, what this story is about. You can share that with us.
Well, the story is basically about this guy Seymour, who works for this tyrant Mushnick, I guess it's called, and they have a flower shop. And it was on Skid Row, which is not a good place to have a flower shop, okay? And so they were about going busted, And so what happened is he ends up finding this little plant. And this plant is not from around here. And so the whole thing winds around, and then he and Audrey develop a relationship. And there's some tragic, there's some sad moments and some happy moments, and it's different from anything Walhalla's seen.
Yeah, it's a different show. There's no doubt, but it's something the kids can come to. It's a good show for them. What's your favorite part about the whole production? Anything that just stands out, Brad, that just makes you glad that you've done that? You're going to be doing this role on stage.
I get to keep my pants on for number one.
That's always a good thing.
I guess it's just working with everybody. I've had such a good time. I really can't put my finger on one specific instance. Larry's helped me a lot with my voice, and that's a big plus. And I guess it would just be the relationships that I've built through this whole rehearsal and show process. So,
let me ask you something, Brad. If a lot of people tell me when we've talked to Doug or whoever about the auditorium getting folks involved, they would say they're so scared. I can't remember my lines. I can't do this. Is there any tips that you can give or any tricks about how to help with that sort of thing or to prepare to be on stage?
Me personally, it's just don't worry about it. If it's out of sight, it's out of mind. Don't worry. Don't think about forgetting your lines, because if you dwell on forgetting your lines, you're more than likely going to forget them.
Yeah.
But if you put that out of your mind and excuse me, just say, I am going to remember my lines, because that's how it's going to happen and that's the way it's going to go, then it just
no problem.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I'll leave it up to you to add anything you'd want to add about the production. Of course, we want to invite people out. I've got the dates here. It opens next weekend, 22nd, 23rd, and the 24th, 8 p.m. on those first two nights. 24th is at 2 p.m., and then the 28th, 29th at 8 p.m., and Halloween, the 31st at 2 o'clock, WalhallaCivicPlayers.com, and, of course, the various ticket outlets as well. I'll just leave the door open to you to add anything you'd like.
You guys got to come see the show. If for nothing else, come see me, because I'm so handsome and good looking. And
not the least bit modest, by the way.
Oh, I'm handsome, I'm smart, good looking, funny, and modest. It's all wrapped up into one. So, on a serious note, though, the show is really, really great. Everybody's coming together, and it's just going to be a great show. And if you don't come and see it, you're going to miss it. So,
all right.
The radio station letting us come by.
Absolutely. Larry LaCroix, the musical director, and Brad Smith, he plays Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors. It opens next weekend.